welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Thank you all for joining me in a new video. My name is Brittany if you're new here, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a vlog, and this is a procedure vlog. I have mentioned in previous videos that I'm going to be having a procedure at the end of June. So today is June 18th as I'm filming this. My procedure is on June 20th, which is Friday. But it's in the afternoon, which is sucky because I really wish it was in the morning time, because these are going to be the longest 3 days of my life. I am going to be getting an upper scope with a biopsy and then also a colonoscopy. So they're making me do a 2-day pre-op prep. And so starting today, I can't have anything to eat. Well, I have a list of approved things. I can only have a clear liquid diet. That's what it's called. And I can have Jello and I can have popsicles. So those are food, but not really. But I can't have anything blue, red, or purple because it can show up as blood on these scans. So I can have iced tea, which, well, it just said tea. It didn't say ice. I can have tea, and sweeteners and honey are okay. So I have this in my fridge, the Real Co tea. It's a peach iced tea, and normally I drink a protein coffee in the morning. I can drink black coffee with sweetener, but no cream or anything. I do not like black coffee. I like, you know, very sugary coffees or protein coffee. So I'm just not going to drink coffee for the next 3 days, which is extremely hard for me. But at least I can have some caffeine in this iced tea. There's very little caffeine in here. I'm going to show you guys my grocery haul. That's why I'm in the car. I'm actually going to pick up my grocery haul right now because I needed to get more. I needed to get stuff that I can have, because I can have broth too. I forgot to mention that. So I'm going to share the haul when I get home. And then I wanted to share, like, you know, what I drink in a day on a clear liquid diet type video. So cheers. I'm back from getting my order. Here is my diet for the next 3 days. All right, so this is Powerade strawberry lemonade. I got one of those. I have 2 of these Powerade Island Burst flavors, 2 of the Powerade Strawberry Smash flavors, and actually all of these I have not tried yet, so I'm excited to try those. All right, we have Outshine, no sugar added, ice pops. So you know how Outshine has fruit bars? That you cannot have on the liquid diet. They have to specifically be ice pops or popsicles. Can't have any of like the fruit bits in them. So this is pineapple, lime, mango. I have to take these over the next couple of days. And then I needed 2 of the Miralax, the 8.3 bottles, but I already have one in the cabinet in my bathroom that's not open. So this is just the Kroger brand. The other one is actual Miralax brand, but same thing. So I just needed one of those instead of 2 because I already have one. And this is Swanson Sipping Bone Broth Chicken Flavor. So I got 2 of those just to make it easy on myself. But then I also got 2 cans of Kroger beef broth and 2 cans of the Kroger chicken broth. You're allowed to have white grape juice, so I ended up getting this white cran and peach. It's okay as long as there's no pulp in it, which there's not, so I got the Ocean Spray brand. And then you're allowed to have apple juice as well, so I got the 100% Mott's apple juice. Packages of orange Jello, 2 packages of lemon lime Jello. And I ordered 2 of these, but they only had 1. But it's the Body Armor Pineapple Coconut. 2 of these Gatorade Frost Glacier Cherry flavor. These Gatorade mashups. It has lemon, lime, and orange. So I got 2 of those. And then they had to substitute this one. This was supposed to be green apple, which I was really happy to try that one because I've never tried it and I love green apple, but they didn't have it in stock. So 2 lemon lime. But this is my little haul. It's now 2:45. In 15 minutes, I have to take 4 laxatives, which I'm not looking forward to. I am about to have another Jello, and I have been feeling not so good. I had a massive headache, and I think it's from the lack of caffeine. So I guess this just goes to show myself that I am caffeine dependent, even though I only have one a day. I have 1 coffee or protein coffee a day. Sometimes I'll need an afternoon pick-me-up if I didn't sleep good the night before, or if it's that time of the month, and so I will drink the pre-made, like Starbucks white chocolate mochas or caramel macchiatos, something like that, which you guys would see in my grocery hauls if you watch those. So I ended up drinking not even half. The can is to right here, and this probably wasn't even full all the way. I got these at Costco, mainly for Josh, because I don't drink energy drinks. Because right now, can you guys see my fingers? I have the shakes. This has 200 milligrams of natural caffeine, and again, I didn't even drink, not even half, and I have the shakes. But that's also because I have nothing in my system, no food in my system, unless you count Jello. Excuse my appearance. I'm not doing good. So last night, I drank at 6 p.m., I drank my Miralax with Powerade, and I got it out within the hour like I was supposed to. About an hour went by, and this is TMI. This whole vlog is probably a bit TMI, but I began to have bowel movements like you're supposed to. But then another hour went by, and I began vomiting. The fluid intake was just way too much on my stomach. And I feel like the reason why I have to have this scope done in the first place is because I'm having trouble swallowing. I vomit a lot. My whole GI system is messed up. And the fact that I'm getting these scopes done and then they give me this protocol, I'm like, hello, I'm not going to be able to do this because of my digestive system, my stomach, my esophagus. But oh well, I guess. So I ended up vomiting just once, and then I took Zofran because I already have a prescription for Zofran. I already have it on hand, and so I took Zofran, and then I began to be very, very thirsty. So I drank a bunch of water. I keep rolling backwards. The stool has wheels on it, and it keeps rolling me backwards. Okay, so I threw up only one time. I took the Zofran. That totally calmed my stomach, and I was able to take in water because I'm like afraid of getting dehydrated. So I drank a bunch of water, and you can't drink Sprite, and I have 0 sugar Sprite in the fridge. Well, it's not Sprite, it's like, I don't know, a store brand. So I tried to have some of that. I took like 2 sips, and I just could not drink it. So I drank a bunch of water, and I went to sleep, and I tossed and turned all night, but I did not have to get up to go to the bathroom overnight, which was good. So I was able to sleep. And then today I've been okay. My stomach has been growling all day, which it didn't yesterday, but today it certainly has. Like, it has reached the hunger point. And then drinking just a little bit of that caffeine definitely took away my headache, but it gave me the shake, so I don't feel so good. So I'm going to, eat this Jello, and hopefully it helps. Last night I drank apple juice, which I did not share that part. So I did drink apple juice and water. And then this morning I drank the rest of the apple juice. The apple juice, I don't want to drink any more Gatorade because I threw it up, and I have to. At 5, so at 3 I have to take the laxatives. At 5
I have to drink half. I have to fill a 28-ounce Gatorade with half a bottle of Miralax, drink it in the hour. But I am going to take the Zofran 30 minutes before I have to drink the next bottle of Gatorade, because I do not want to throw up again, because if I throw up again, I have to call the surgery center, and if this has to be rescheduled because I can't hold down the full amount, I'm going to be pissed, because I already am over 1.5 days into this, and if it's not going to work this time, it's not going to work the next time. I have GI issues, and they should take that into consideration when, you know, I guess this is just the protocol, whatever, but I'm just going to be pissed if I have to reschedule. So that's my little update. I'm not doing so great, but honestly, it is what it is.
Later since I had my scopes done, and I was waiting to get the pathology results and to talk to my doctor before doing the final update for this video. So the scopes, everything went great, and the colonoscopy didn't show anything. I have no issues, which we both were kind of like already anticipating that. So it was a waste of time and money, and I had to do all of that prep essentially for nothing. But we wanted to be safe than sorry, because the GI doctor threw out the C word, and not that I had that, but she just said it's on the rise.
She called you the C word?
No, cancer. She brought that up, saying it's colon cancer's on the rise in my generation, so that scared me. But I had no symptoms of that. So Josh is here for support, because I suck at explaining medical stuff, and he has been the biggest support ever since I started to look for answers as to what has been happening. So just like a recap, I have Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, hypermobility, Mast Cell Activation Syndrome, POTS, which is I don't even know exactly what it stands for. Orthostatic Tachycardia Syndrome. I think that's exactly what that is. I have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. I have asthma, allergies, which the mast cell MCAS kind of like ties into that as I'm like learning.
So does IBS.
So does IBS, yeah.
Everything ties into EDS.
EDS. So
that's the genesis of it all.
Exactly. And I didn't find that out until, if you guys watch my vlogs, until late 2023. So I've had this my whole life. EDS is a genetic connective tissue disorder. But with that, because all of my organs and my tissues, everything is so stretchy, and so it just causes way more issues than just being hypermobile. That's just the tip of it. But there are 13 other types of Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, but that's the type that I have. Now I've been diagnosed with another chronic condition, and it's called EOE, which is, so it's called EOE for short, but it's Eosinophilic Esophagitis, which is a chronic or long-term allergic condition where your esophagus gets inflamed. And so this directly ties into MCAS, mast cell. Before I even got the scope, I was certain I had that after doing research, because I would get these pains all the time. And it's not in my esophagus, on the top. It's where my esophagus meets my stomach. And I don't feel it in my chest. I feel it in my back. It feels like food gets stuck, but I don't really think the food is stuck. It's really hard to explain, but I've had this my whole life. But on Mother's Day, this is when this started bad. On Mother's Day weekend, that Saturday before, because Mother's Day was Sunday, I got a really bad flare. Usually, it'll go away within a couple hours. I'll take all my supplements, drink lots of water, and it'll go away. It lasted 4 days, and it did not go away. So I went to urgent care, and she's like, "Why are you here? You should have went to the ER." I'm like, if you guys have chronic illness, you guys know that we wait so long and we don't like going to get seen because the doctors are so dismissive. And a lot of doctors don't know EDS. And so I wait till the very last second. And she's like, "You need to be seen by your GI." I'm like, I don't even have a GI doctor, because again, my PCP manages it, or I just ignore it. And I try to take natural supplements and everything at home to help, so I don't have to go to the doctor. So anyways, she ended up prescribing me something. So she didn't know how to help me. I was texting Josh the whole time because he was like, "You need to ask for," I can't remember the medication. Do you remember the medication?
I forget what it's called.
I forget what it's called, but no, it's okay. It's just a medicine that you swallow 4 times a day, and it coats your esophagus lining, your stomach. It is good for ulcers. It just helps calm it down. So I was taking that, and Josh recommended drinking aloe, and that helped too, because I literally could not eat and I could not drink. Drinking cold, which, if you guys know me, I love iced drinks. So drinking cold is what I love. And so I had to drink room temperature water. And so I think I was getting dehydrated along the way because I wasn't drinking my electrolytes. I wasn't drinking enough water because I hate room temperature water. It hurts my stomach. But I finally got to the GI, and I mentioned EOE. I was like, this is on my radar. So she said, well, the only way to know is to do a scope. And so waited a whole month and a half, or a whole month, I think it was, to finally do the scope. And so as soon as I woke up, which Josh couldn't come back there with me because we had Ronan with us, and they don't let kids go back there because I guess it can be traumatizing, which I do see, I understand that. So he left with Ronan. And so when I woke up from my scope, this is the first thing I asked the doctor was, did I have rings? Because there's certain types of rings that show up in your esophagus if you have EOE. And he's like, yeah, there was rings. And so my esophagus was actually narrowing, which that's why I was having the feeling that food was getting stuck, but food wasn't necessarily getting stuck. At least there was no food stuck at the time of the scope. Could have happened around Mother's Day, maybe. I don't really know.
At least slows down, right? Because
yeah,
it's narrowed, and you could feel it, right? So it probably kind of gets stuck, but just
Yeah.
like goes down slower than it should.
Yeah.
And you feel it kind of getting jammed up in there a little bit.
Yeah. So they ended up dilating my esophagus while I was under, and they use like a wire tool, they use a balloon, and they dilate it. So now moving forward, the protocol is there's a 6-step elimination diet where you take these 6 things out for 6 weeks and then you introduce them back in. But for me, and my GI doctor said to go to immunology for food testing, but I literally know my triggers. It's, raw vegetables, nightshades, not all of them, some of them. Sometimes steak, sometimes not. It just depends how I'm feeling that day. And mast cell is more than just food. My body can flare up with cleaning chemicals, with people's perfumes, like going to get my hair done, getting my nails done. All of those are a trigger. So before I do anything like that, I have to take like tons of supplements that keep me protected so that I don't flare. So diet is one thing. Then they put me on Protonix, which is a PPI, which that I did not pick up right away after the scope. I just picked it up last week because I was waiting for the approval from my doctor, because I don't have a gallbladder and a PPI reduces your acid, right? So
yeah, stomach acid.
Yeah. So I was nervous to take it because it can cause more side effects, like more harm than good.
It's just kind of the default go-to treatment, right? Whenever they see ulcers or signs of like gastritis and that kind of stuff. And for most people, that probably is the right answer. But for people who have these immune conditions, these chronic allergic response sort of conditions, it's probably not always the best.
Yeah.
Because it's not acid that's causing it.
Right.
The inflammation is caused by your own white blood cells and immune cells and mast cells overreacting to things that you're triggered by. So getting less acid when you already have trouble kind of absorbing and digesting things and nutrients, maybe not the best. So makes me a little nervous, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But when I had my follow-up with my doctor, Josh had mentioned trying oral cromulin, which I had never really looked into or heard of. But again, he's done all this research. And at first my doctor was like, well, I don't really know about that.
She hadn't heard of it before.
Yes. So after I got off, I did a video visit with her. And so after we got off the phone a couple hours later, she's like, oh my gosh, yes, I will, prescribe that. I think that's great to try. The oral cromulin is more for mast cell stabilizer versus not really for EOE. But if you have EOE and you have mast cell, it makes sense to try this.
Yeah, I mean, it is a treatment for it.
Yeah.
But it's an antihistamine, right? But instead of being for your common airborne allergens and things like that, it's an antihistamine directly for your digestive tract, right? So any essentially internal mucous membranes and skin and your digestive tract that it touches, it will help calm that down and keep your the histamines from degranulizing your mast cells and things, and keeping it just calm, right? And not making it freak out and getting rid of the inflammation. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what the main goal is now, is helping my body get rid of the inflammation, because inflammation is terrible and it affects my entire system. And should I eat a low inflammatory diet? Maybe, but I'm not there all the way yet. I
try to avoid your main triggers, but you just don't want to go like super restrictive where she has to watch everything she eats and can't live and enjoy the stuff she wants. Like, we want to balance it, right? Like, obviously there's some things where we know you just can't eat it. Like, that's going to trigger you too much. Like, just avoid it, or eat it in very slight moderation, but make sure you take your meds beforehand, you know.
Which one of those is raw vegetables? I love a good veggie tray. Like, if there's a veggie tray at a party, I'm eating the veggies. And I did that over camping. And then all of a sudden, I could feel my throat didn't hurt, because ever since I've gotten the dilation, I've not had any problems with, like, my lips will tingle, and I'm like, okay, it's my body telling me you need to stop. So it's not all unhealthy foods for me. It's a lot of
the healthy stuff. That's part of the trouble.
Yeah. And that is one other thing that I was tested. So I was tested for my pathology. I was tested for celiac disease, which is gluten sensitivity, and I am cleared for that. Do not have celiac disease. And then they also tested me for H. pylori, which is like an infection basically in your stomach, and that was negative as well. So positive for EOE, which that did not surprise me.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be that.
Yeah,
I knew it was going to be that.
I knew that too.
We just needed the diagnosis to get the prescriptions for the cromulin and stuff to be able to actually treat this thing.
Right. And I have ulcers, which that was a little bit surprising, because I've had ulcers before, but they were like bleeding ulcers, and these ones aren't. They're very like minor, very small ones. I have hiatal hernia, which that surprised me as well. I've never heard of that. But it's
EDS.
EDS, right. It's the very laxative organs. It's only 2 centimeters. It's really small. It's really minor. The PPI is one of the things that treat it. So hopefully it does. And then they did say that I have chronic gastritis, but it's inactive, meaning I'm not currently suffering from gastritis. Because when I was trying to explain that to all of the doctors, I'm like, this pain is not GERD, it's not gastritis, it has nothing to do with acid or heartburn, because I've lived with that.
Well, that's the thing. You used to have that.
Yes.
And so there are signs from past history of it.
Right.
But it's not active anymore. It's inactive right now.
Right. And
what's happening to you now is not from acid.
Right. But trying to explain that to the doctors, it's like, phew. And so that's why, like, Josh attended my video call with the doctor and stuff, because he has done, like I said, he's done all this research. And so I have a really hard time speaking up. I will just take whatever someone says. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do that. I'll take it, whatever. And he's like, kind of like, well, we should question these things. Like, doctors, of course, they've been to school, they know the knowledge, but sometimes you have to question things.
Well, especially when we're talking about these somewhat rare or newer conditions that were just kind of recently really discovered and mapped out. Like, they're still trying to figure out what these things are and how to treat them.
Right.
So it's all newer stuff. There's not a lot of, literature in the publications that the doctors study about this stuff, and like you have to really, so I mean, it's understandable that they don't know, and that's fine as long as they're open to looking at the new stuff and figuring it out. And
in which my actual PCP,
fortunately, she is.
Yes.
So I was a little worried, when she hadn't heard of that medicine, but she went and looked at it right away, and then was like, you know what, this makes a lot of sense. You're right. Like, let's try this if you want to. Which is great. Like, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. So, like, this, if you have chronic illness or you are still searching for answers, this is your reminder to push for answers, fire your doctors, hire new ones. I've had to go through a cardiologist, neurologist, different PCPs, because we pay so much for healthcare in America through insurance and through office visits and tests and all of this. We should have the best care that we can have. And I've finally realized that over the last year and a half. Like, okay, you suck as a doctor, unfortunately. To me, that's my opinion. I'm going to go find another doctor instead of jumping through hoops to trying to get help for yourself. Because like I said, we pay so much, we deserve the top of the line care. And now,
or at least just competent care.
Yes.
Right?
One of my neurologists, oh my gosh, I could not deal with him any longer. He was just, anyways, that's a different story for the different day. But my care team now, though, like with my PCP, with my GI, allergist, cardiologist, like, yeah. I love my cardiologist. I love my GI doctor now. She's so sweet. I love my PCP. Like, and my PCP handles a lot of things that I don't have to go to a specialist for, because she listens and she researches and she helps me. So if you guys, whoever's watching this, has similar conditions or struggles as me, if you want me to make a separate video of all of the medicine I take, all of the supplements I take, and why I take them for what reason, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm sure you would help me do that video. And,
of course. Or what you've tried that didn't work.
Yeah, because I've
that kind of stuff too.
Been through the hoops of what
tried
didn't
almost
work.
Did all at this point.
Right. Because this also affects your mental. It's not just your physical body. Having inflammation and chronic illness, it definitely takes a toll on your mental as well. And so I went back on medication last year or early this year. And now I've started using a TENS unit to stimulate your
vagus nerve.
So it, like, you put a patch here, and then you put it like on your little, I forget what this is called, this part of your ear, and it like kind of stimulates. I've done TMS, which is transcranial magnetic stimulation. I've done that on my brain before, back in 2021, I think, 2022. And that is to help with depression, but your vagus nerve is like your central nerve, right? Your system.
Yeah, it's one of the, it does a lot of things and it controls a lot of stuff from your brain, but one of the biggest ones, and the reason why we're doing it for you, is because it's a big part. It's directly connected to the amygdala, which is sort of the center for your fight or flight response, right?
Yeah.
And kind of feeling safe and letting your body relax and not be in that constant kind of danger state. Because when you've got things like hypermobile EDS and your joints are always a little bit flexed too far than they really should, like your brain is always like feeling all these weird pains, or noticing that it's doing things it's not supposed to. So it's like, wait, hey, why are we doing this? And then you've got your allergic responses and your triggers from your MCAS, and so having the inflammation all the time, like your brain's always putting out the fires all over the place with all these triggers, and so it's always in that fights and danger and warning kind of status, right? And it's stuck there, and so stimulating the vagus nerve is essentially, we're trying to send that pulse back, which is the kind of the off switch for that, to say it's okay, you're calm, you're safe now, you're good, relax. And that's kind of what it's supposed to do. So we're hoping that we can make that happen and put the fire out. It's not the only thing. Like, we got to get ahead of the inflammation with some of those medicines that we talked about.
Yes.
But in addition to that, telling it, hey, you chill now.
Yeah.
Right?
We're on day 3, and I feel better after I do it too. But I'm also taking that time for myself, which I have totally not been doing because of life. But anyways, I'm going to end it here. I just want to do an update. I appreciate all of you guys for all of the love and support that you're always showing me, my channel, asking how I'm doing, reaching out to me. I'm sharing these videos just because I keep it real here on my channel, number 1. But number 2, EDS, MCAS, these are chronic conditions that are more rare, newer. A lot of people are starting to get diagnosed with these. And so I just want to spread more awareness and more positivity as well around these, because there are answers out there. So if you are stuck in that loop of the doctors gaslighting you, telling you it's, maybe it's just anxiety. I've heard that a million times. Maybe it's just anxiety. Maybe it's your weight. no, there's something else going on and I'm not crazy, you know, because for a while there, I thought it was crazy. I was like, what is happening? So push for answers, get a good team, and let me know if you guys want more information on medicine, what I'm taking.
Well, you might be crazy, but it's not because of this.
Maybe. that might be true. But yes, let me know if you guys want another video, because I would be more than happy to sit down. If I can help at least one person, that is what I'm doing this for. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, be sure to hit subscribe. It is absolutely free to do so, and we would appreciate the support. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.
Don't be a C word.
Take care. Bye.